Welcome to Daily Tax Savings. This is Tony Novak here to share a few points on saving taxes and staying out of tax trouble. Today's topic is dealing with the new IRS. And I put up a blog post this morning at taxproblems.cpa that listed 10 points, 10 lessons that I learned, notes that I took yesterday from listening to esteemed tax attorney Frank Augustino. I don't think there's anybody in the tax field that is more both knowledgeable and free to speak about the current status. In other words, if he were still inside the IRS, he wouldn't be free to give these casual comments and update us professionals. But we really appreciate that he did. I want to switch my screen here and bring up my own blog post so that I can highlight a few of the points that would be of most of interest to taxpayers. If you're running a small business, a small contractor or farm or something like that, or an investor, you might want to get a heads up on these. And let me point out also that we're talking about changes that are already underway at IRS. This has little or nothing to do with the proposed tax bill, except for one issue I'll point out in a second. So yeah, the size of your tax bill will matter. Much of the balances and accounts due that are less than $50,000 will be handled one way, basically through automation and mechanical online process, and accounts where more than 50,000 is due will be handled another way with IRS live personnel. So in the past, I've commented that that's where I've done best, is actually working with live people and coming up with reasonable agreements person to person. But that won't be the case for smaller account balances, where that will be more automated, and just knowing how to deal with the technology will be more important. The second point I wanted to make is that I was unaware until Frank was talking about it that what we do know is that self-prepared small business tax returns do have a higher rate of non-compliance than professionally prepared returns. And I think most people intuitively know that. People that prepare their own returns, particularly business owners that prepare their own returns, often do it because they can make the numbers work out in their favor more than if you had a professional saying, hey, we could get in trouble for this. So I did not know until yesterday that IRS has the same concerns about the direct file program. And so that it's a moot point at this point, because that direct file program is going away. So what IRS is doing instead is tightening the screws, increasing penalties, increasing prosecutions against us, that is the professional tax preparers. And also, I imagine it's implied by the companies that are doing the AI screening, like Intuit TurboTax. So I think that these companies that are putting in tax returns are going to be under much more scrutiny going forward. The only thing in this talk here that pertains to the new proposed tax bill is that there are provisions in the new bill to increase penalties both on tax preparers and on software companies that have been involved in gimmicky or scammy things. It's discussed that the number of IRS audits is going to increase. Now, I'll have to see it to believe it, but the long discussed implementation of AI to analyze big data from multiple sources. If I'm just making this up off the top of my head, but if you're putting your new Ferrari on Facebook and you're reporting $50,000 net business income, that's something that AI can pick up that a human IRS auditor probably doesn't have the capacity to do that. But the IRS employees will be expected to bring in more revenue with less resources, and that's going to be significant. The last point I want to make is this whole transition away from paper. We were used to hearing, writing a letter, sending in documents, and that's all going away. We're finally moving into the modern age where everything is going to be electronic. Paper will be a thing of the past in all aspects dealing with IRS. So I would love to hear your comments, thoughts, or feedback. What do you expect in the new IRS? Leave a comment on social media, or if you want to talk with me one-on-one, that's easy to do also. Taxproblems.cpa, and just click the Let's Talk button.